Hi everyone, Lewis here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys some very interesting news about DayZ Standalone, and unfortunately it's not very good interesting news. In fact, it's very bad news. If you guys didn't hear about it already, Rocket has actually confirmed that he is going to be stepping down as the lead dev of DayZ Standalone at the end of 2014. He did say that if he's needed past that point then he will stick around, but right now, 9 months from now, Rocket will no longer be active in the development of DayZ Standalone, and understandably there's been a lot of controversy around it, so I thought I'd share my opinion and talk a bit about DayZ Standalone and how it's really handling right now, because there's a lot of things which really I've wanted to talk about but I haven't really wanted to, because negativity is never a good thing. So going into this video, yes, I am going to be saying some negative things about DayZ Standalone. I do, of course, enjoy the DayZ mod and the DayZ Standalone a shit ton. They're one of my favourite games ever. But really, we need to have a talk about the whole situation and assess what is going to be the final outcome of DayZ Standalone, especially with this recent news. And also, before I get into it, I apologise for the terrible gameplay in the background, but what can I say? I had some pretty terrible luck. I don't know why, but people like to shoot fresh bones in Electro a shit ton. But anyway, this all came to light in an interview with Dean Hall from Eurogamer.net, in which Dean stated that DayZ is a fundamentally flawed concept. There's really two different ways of looking at the entire situation, with Dean saying things like that and also leaving the project. The first of which is the more negative one, saying that the game is now never going to be complete, that they are taking your money and not giving you a finalized product. And it's actually a fact that Dean said that he's starting up his own development studio, so just abandoning DayZ Standalone and moving on to a new project midway kind of thing through development. And then there's a more positive one, saying that it's actually going to be maybe a good thing. One interesting thing which many people might have forgot about is Notch, who developed Minecraft, actually left a long time ago, and it's still to this day a massive success, selling over 14 million copies in total. Dean leaving, is it really the worst thing ever? Is it going to impact the game in such a big way as people feel? I mean, he is just one person. I'm really not sure. I've always been really unsure as to whether DayZ Standalone in a few years is going to be everything people expected it to be, or whether it was going to be a buggy mess, as I'm sure people would probably say it is right now. I mean, it is still a lot of fun, but with so many things which really need to be added to make it a complete game. But speaking entirely in fact, the game has been out for 3 months. Rocket is going to be leaving in 9 months, and he stated on Reddit that he hopes by that period the game should be mostly completed. So by then we should expect vehicles, a better running game, actual functioning zombies, 150 players per server, 3,000 zombies per server. There's a lot of claims which really I'm not sure if they're ever going to become a reality by the end of the year. I'd say one of the biggest issues and one of the reasons I'm sure Dean left the project was the engine. I'm sure you guys know already, but it doesn't run too good in certain environments, mainly cities. It just doesn't enjoy cities at all. There's a lot of limitations with it, really. Of course, it is simulating a massive world, and that isn't exactly something which most engines can do. But because of the engine, it has made the game probably more clunky than it should be. I'd say comparing it to the mod, it's actually even more clunky. I'm not really sure what was in the mod which made it feel right. But if I compare playing the mod to Standalone, I just think the mod feels better as a game, and you just don't get the same feelings, at least for me personally, when playing Standalone. That might sound really hipstery, but I've just always had a lot more fun while playing the mod. It is still fun hopping on Standalone, playing the new patches, but I just don't really know if it'll ever, go beyond what the mod did in terms of fun and live up to the hype, like I mentioned before. But like I said, talking about the facts, so 9 months in the future, hopefully it should be mostly completed. Other than the features I listed, of course, all the bugs should be bye-bye, hopefully. And you've got to keep in mind that the game's been in development for 3 months, and not too much stuff has happened. This is probably a bit of a controversial opinion. I know going in this video that some people won't like what I say, but just watch it till the end and hopefully at least you can understand why I'm thinking the way I do. Rocket confirmed on Reddit that there's over 50 people working on DayZ Standalone right now, and that's the main reason he didn't want to go back to his home country, New Zealand, because he wanted to stay there and actually lead people to make a game which is good. It makes sense, but it's a bit weird that there's 50 people working on DayZ Standalone and so little has happened in these 3 months. Yeah, there's been a few weapons added and it has really improved, and it's still definitely, just confirm, I enjoy it. It's fun. I'm sure many people can agree with that. but it's extremely buggy. A few weapons have been added, some cosmetics, in fact a lot of cosmetics, a lot of changes with the world, but I just feel with 50 people working on the game, a lot of people expected more. Also considering that a lot of these assets were already produced before the game even came out, like the double barrel shotgun, for example, was already in the game before it was released, a long time before it was released. It just wasn't ever made to function properly, like even the ammo was in the game early on when it was released. So considering that, a lot of the stuff's already in the game, and in 3 months they've added a few weapons, some new buildings, which for all we know were already finished before the game was out, a lot of items, and a lot of cosmetics, which is good, but I honestly just feel it's 1 quarter on our way to when Rocket is going to be leaving and when it's supposed to be fully finished or close to completion at least. I really just don't know if all of those things can be done. Like all those things I listed before, 150 players per server, 3,000 zombies. That was a thing which Rocket said in a video a while back. I just don't know if it can really be done considering the engine. People simply want Rocket to finish what he started, and it makes sense. I mean, the hype's been building up for over 2 years now, in fact, the mod's been out for, and Standalone was initially announced pretty early in the mod's lifetime. I've been following it for a shit ton of time, as I'm sure many of you guys have as well, and we really expected a finished, finalized product which Rocket would stick with the entire way, since he has been working on the mod and then the Standalone for the past 2 years or so. When he announces that he's leaving, I think it's a pretty bad PR move. I know being transparent and whatnot is important, but it just doesn't show too much faith for a project, and I think if the lead dev isn't showing too much faith in the game, saying that it's fundamentally flawed, then why the hell should everyone who's playing it even believe it's going to be a successful game in the future and that all of the promised claims are going to become a reality? Because I really just don't see it right now. I've always wanted DayZ to be a great game. People probably thought that considering the amount of sales DayZ Standalone has had, 1.5 million, that means there's a lot of money to invest into its future in terms of more people developing it. Maybe some big changes with the engine, who the hell knows. I understand that game development isn't the easiest thing ever, that's kind of obvious, but I just feel that considering the amount of money they've made, they are not going to be hitting that deadline at the end of the year. I know I've been rambling on for a while, but hopefully you guys get the general opinion that I've had for a long time and that I've really just not wanted to express, because I've wanted the game to be good. I don't want negativity to be flown. I want to think the game's good. I want the future of it to be bright, and there is still a possibility of having a bright future, but considering all of these facts, I really don't know about this. So I thought I'd ask a random guy in game as to what he thought about the recent news, and he said this.
Welcome.
Hi. So,
are you ready to do it?
No, wait. What do you think about Rocket stepping down as the lead developer on DayZ Standalone? How do you feel about that?
Good. Wow, that's a good question. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, man.
But you not feel it's gonna impact the final product? You know?
Well, dude, your voice sounds very familiar. Well, it might impact it, but it's still a year from.
Do you think the game's ever going to be what people think it's, well, what people hope it's going to be? Because I'm not sure. I mean, 3 months of work, not really much has changed. They're hoping to have a more finalized product by the end of the year. I mean, 3 months, a few weapons, not really much.
No. Yeah, true. If you look at their track right now in the last few months, it's pretty mediocre.
Okay. Yeah. So
and I know they still have a year. I don't know, man.
Okay. Well, in celebration, we'll jump off a building together. Okay, let's hold hands and jump. Let's go.
Are you Lewis by any chance?
No. Let's go on my one. Fuck! I didn't die.
Oh, what the fuck?
You've got to remember, the game's called DayZ, and I appreciate it's an alpha, but the zombies are just not there, and I think with the engine limitations, it'll just never be there. The zombies just suck. There's not really any other way of saying that. People want hordes, people want barricading, they want a lot of stuff. Like with this kind of genre of game, there's so much stuff which you can add, and I feel with Rocket leaving and doubting even the project, not too much time being left, the engine not really being built for this kind of game, it's not going to work out too good. That's just my personal opinion. If you've got a different one, that's fine. Feel free to express it in the comment section below. And I'll try to reply, but I just really don't know about the future of DayZ considering this recent news. That's really all. A lot of people didn't know about this news, and considering this, am I saying don't buy the game? That's not what I'm saying. The game's still a lot of fun, but I'm just saying the future of DayZ is unknown. I don't think Rocket should have announced this at such an early time. If he's going to move on to a future game with a future studio, which he's going to be making himself, that's cool, you know. People live for more than 5 years, so they're more than welcome to move on and do different stuff. But it really just came at a bad time after reaching 1.5 million sales, so much money, and the development of Standalone is just being really, really wobbly. I remember a while ago that Rocket did say that was going to be a roadmap. There still isn't really a roadmap, so that's what I'm saying with the whole future being unknown. There's no roadmap, so we don't know what to expect. It's just really, 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 really weird. That's all. With the new development studio, which Rocket is hoping to set up, he is claiming that he wants to make the ultimate multiplayer game at some time in his career, and DayZ is not and never was intended to be that ultimate game. All of this stuff is quoted from Reddit, some interviews, and loads of stuff. So if you guys want the sources, then feel free to ask. I'll probably put them in the description below. But I think Rocket feels that leaving isn't going to have an impact on his future career for some reason. But so far, it seems pretty negative. I don't think he's going to be able to just walk into a new development studio, which he's setting up himself, like I've already said, and make a new game, and people have faith in him, really. He's doubting his own game, which is understandable, engine, etc., etc. But then on top of that, hoping to make an ultimate multiplayer game? I don't know. That is pretty much it for my opinion, though. If you guys have got any opinions, then, like I said, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. But I'm just really not sure. Right now, I'm still going to be playing DayZ Standalone, of course, and I hope the best for it. I really, really do. But it just seems weird for Dean to accept a half-arsed product and then leaving it after a shit ton of sales and then working on this new ultimate multiplayer game. It's just like, why did he not just make that in the first place instead of working on DayZ and then announcing that he was leaving? Anyway, I should probably stop rambling now. I'm just a bit upset, you know. Buyer's remorse or something. No, it'll probably be good in the future. We'll just have to wait a long, long time. I feel Rocket needs to stick with a project for a bit longer to keep people interested and faithful in his development, but yeah. Anyway, like I said, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time in the very, very unknown future.